Happy Valentine's Day! I'm your host, Pete.
And I'm Kyle, and we talk about all things bloody.
Alright, this Bloody Flicks episode is video 3 in My Bloody February. And we're going to be covering the 1981 My Bloody Valentine movie. The original My Bloody Valentine movie.
We'll get to the remake here in a little bit.
We're going to run these back to back for you guys, so we're going to do a double in one video. So the first one was 1981. I didn't realize it was that old of a movie. I remember seeing it as a kid throughout the 80s. I didn't realize it was 1981. So that was right after Halloween 1978. So yeah, that was Friday the 13th was 80.
Yep.
So this is actually the third big killer movie, really.
So this is during the golden age of slasher movies.
Yeah. So why don't you take us through the movie?
Well,
if you mind.
Well, My Bloody Valentine is about Harry Warden, a miner that they have.
He was a miner?
Yes, they were coal miners.
Oh, coal miner. I thought you meant like a little kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coal miners, and there's an explosion, and he's trapped underground with 5 or 6 other of his fellow miners, and he's down there for days, and he turns to cannibalism to survive, and so everyone's afraid of Harry Warden now. And years pass, and now our new characters are actually going to have a Valentine's Day party in this small town.
They were warned not to.
Yeah, they were warned not to have it by this crazy Ralph-looking bartender at their local bar, which the guy does kind of remind me of Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th, because he's like,
yeah, he does.
So they don't listen, and of course they have the party, and Harry Warden, the miner, shows up. Or is it really Harry Warden?
Yeah, the first one is kind of funny because you have adults playing young 20-year-olds, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And there's an older guy, a bigger guy with a mustache.
Hollis is
Hollis, yeah. He looks like he's 40 compared to the other guys. But then again, back in the early 80s, I mean, teenagers were pretty much like grown men versus today's teenagers, but are not teens, but young men. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, so when I rewatched it when we do these videos, it has good parts, but it has some blah parts. You can tell it's definitely 80s, especially by the music. Because when they get trapped in the mine, there was negligence on the behalf of 2 people. And one of the younger, newer people in the movie, it was their dad that was negligent or whatever. And so a typical girlfriend's dating a guy. Her ex-lover shows back up in town. He was gone for like 10 years or whatever. Tried to succeed in L.A.?
Yeah, or something.
California or something like that. Didn't make it. Had some mental issues. Came back to town. And they decided to have a Valentine's Day party, even though they were warned. They figured it was so many years had passed, nothing's going to happen. Typical love story. The music is definitely 80s because this is 81. So you have the 70s into the 80s were kind of like a blur music. And if you watch those shows, it's kind of like the hillbilly pop. Like, they get in this truck and after work, they get cleaned up. After a hard day of mining, I know when I get off work, I don't want to go party. I mean, I am a little older now, but they want to go party after work, so they get in their vehicles and they peel out to head to the local bar, and you hear bing ding bing ding bing ding 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 ding, that kind of music. Yeah, so it's typical 80s music, which made me laugh. But
and then the Crazy Ralph bartender.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And the older lady that is setting up the Valentine's Day party, unfortunately, gets killed. The characters were cool. They did the 2 main characters of the love interest of the girl.
Tom and Alex.
Yeah, Tom and Alex. You had the dark-haired guy, and you had the blonde. And the blonde was supposed to be a little prettier, who's now the new boyfriend. And, you have the other boyfriend who's come back, and he knows that he still loves the girl, of course.
And then he made a mistake by leaving.
Yeah, they did a good part. They almost did. The only thing I like is they really focused on the relationship. I know that bothered you a lot, right?
Yeah.
As far as they really were like.
It's like, I get it. That's what the kind of the premise of why the 3 are in this love triangle, but can we not focus all about that? There was some other characters I thought were a little more interesting than the main three, and they kind of didn't show that. They didn't focus on them. It was just mostly the three.
Yeah, Alex and
Tom.
Tom. And the dark-haired one was Tom, right?
Yes.
And he unfortunately passed away.
In real life.
In real life. On February 1st of this year, 2022. Go ahead.
Paul Kellman.
Yeah.
So here we'll give a moment of silence.
All right.
And then the main girl that they both have affection for is Sarah. And so, yeah, so there's kind of a love triangle between the three of them in this whole movie. And
they really zone in on it a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, you get, but it's a lot.
Yeah. It kind of brought the movie down for me. It's like, I thought this was a slasher movie, not a romantic, I wouldn't say comedy, but...
Yeah. So you find out that the two are fighting over the girl. She really loves Tom. Axel actually knows that. She knows that, the only reason that she's with her is because the other guy left. And all the killings start. And of course they end up in the mine for the final scene. The killings were okay. I mean, it's 81.
Well, now I always watch the uncut version.
I watched the regular version.
Yeah, because I've seen the theatrical version first, and then once I realized they have an uncut version, I watched it, and that's the version I prefer because the kills are a little more...
Well, I don't watch the uncut version because I want to see the kills. If they're uncut, that means nothing happens.
No, the uncut version is when the theatrical is where they cut the stuff out.
Oh, I thought it meant they didn't get cut.
No, the theatrical version is where they cut all the good stuff out, and the uncut they put it back in.
Oh, I thought there was something about flesh.
No.
But yeah, so they just really hit a moment.
Yeah.
I got too much in that.
Yeah, so I always watch the uncut version, which the kills are a lot better.
Yeah, but the kills still weren't great in the 1981 version.
Yeah.
They were basic. They were pretty much, like the first... I mean, even the first Friday the 13th kills were better. This was a basic, hey, I'm stabbing you, you're dying a little blood. The older ladies that sets up the party in the dryer was cool. She pops out, she's all like dissolved or whatever. That was pretty cool.
Or the Crazy Ralph bartender guy, gets hit in the face with the pickaxe and it goes up through his jaw and out his eye. That one was pretty cool.
That was a good one. But for the most part, the kills weren't bad for 1981. The story was a little too much on the three characters. Of course, they go in the mine, and you're like, oh my god, it's definitely going to be Paul. It's going to be Tom that's the killer. Because they made him creepy from the get-go. They made him, like, squinty-eyed and kind of like they wanted you to think he was a killer. Is that expression I got. They really wanted you to think he was a killer.
Yeah.
They really, because the way he acted. But he wasn't a killer. Who was a killer?
Axel.
Yeah, not Axl Rose, Axel Foley, but this Axel was a killer because he didn't have trauma.
The real Harry Warden actually killed Axel's dad. We find out that Axel's dad was the one that caused the explosion that trapped all the miners in the mine and caused Harry Warden to become a cannibal. And so Harry Warden killed Axel's dad, and Axel seen that as a kid, and so he got traumatized and started taking up the killing himself.
Yep. You find out that the actual Harry actually died.
Yeah.
He died. So, yeah, the first one, it's for 1981. It's actually a good movie. It's a pretty decent movie. I don't know. I guess I would give it 3 blood drops out of 5.
I'd give it 3 blood drops out of 5 too. For being an early 80s slasher, it's something that at least if you're a slasher fan, you should watch.
Especially an older one.
Yeah, especially an older one. I would definitely recommend watching the uncut version, unless you want to watch both. Like I said, you'll notice little differences here and there.
I actually like watching both versions, just because there is differences in the two. But I like watching the original first, because that's what you see in TV or the theater, and then watching the uncut later. But yeah, I don't know, it's pretty good. I mean, especially early ones, you get the corny music, you get the older guys playing younger people. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, especially after rewatching it. But now we're on to My Bloody Valentine. And what year are we going to? 2009. This remake. And I forgot about this remake. I only seen it once up until I rewatched it. What did you think?
I knew this came when this first came out in 2009. I didn't see it at the theater, but once it came out on DVD, seen it because it actually came out around the same time as the Friday the 13th remake. So you had both the Winchester brothers from Supernatural. One was in Friday the 13th, and the other one was in this movie.
And you're gonna pick Friday the 13th because that's your movie.
Yeah, I mean they're both good for what they are. You know, I like this movie a lot. So, but yeah.
But at the time, though, if you had to choose,
at the time
you picked Friday the 13th,
Friday the 13th,
and I did too.
Because when this movie came out, I didn't even know this was an actual remake because I had never even heard of the '80s movie. So yeah, so this was actually my introduction to My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, I was kind of like this. Okay, another remake. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
I went for Friday the 13th also.
Yeah, see, I didn't know this was a remake. I thought it was just itself. So
yeah, with that, were we surprised? Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, this remake was actually pretty good. The characters are, I think, better. The acting was pretty good. Of course, the people they picked were, good looking stars at the time, especially. They start off in the younger scene where they're, of course, they have the flashback where the killer the miners died. Except in this one, the flashback, the actual miner who's killing, the police go and shoot him. He runs to the mine. They assume he's dead. So it wasn't a mine collapse or he's a cannibal like the first one. But as a younger kids, you see the newer generation of the main characters. They're at the mine having a party, and the killer shows up and is killing people. But anyway, yeah, I like the modern version of it. I do like Axel's Bronco, that old Bronco he's driving.
No, Tom's Bronco.
Or Tom's Bronco, yeah.
Tom.
And I do like Tom's Bronco. Even though it's old, I like the vehicle. That's pretty cool. I like his character. Comes to town. Obviously, they still have a thing for each other. You find out that Axel he's the sheriff now.
Yep.
So that's different than the first one. Axel is the sheriff.
And he's actually married to Sarah.
He's married to Sarah. They have kids. And you find out that Axel's kind of a player.
Yeah, he's cheating on his wife.
With the girl that works with his wife.
Yeah.
And
she's actually pregnant.
Yeah, the girl he's cheating on, the young helper at the store, she's dark haired, looks so different, younger. Ends up gives him a Valentine's Day present that she's pregnant. So of course he's just like, what am I gonna do? So automatically you're thinking, okay, he's the killer. He's gonna kill her because he wants out of the kid and all that stuff. That's where I went with it. I don't know. Yeah. That's where I went. Like, okay, he's gonna be the killer this time because they did do enough changing in the movie. Well, I still keep it the same. I don't know. The kills were really good.
Yeah, the kills in this movie are a lot better and more graphic than in the original one. The kills are a lot better.
Out of all the horror movies, these kills were right there with some of the Friday the 13th. I mean, it's just kills are really good. They don't really try to force you to think that 1,000 people are killers. They make it seem like Axel's the killer, just because he's the creepy guy who cheated on his wife, and his wife's really nice and sweet and runs a grocery store that everybody likes. Everybody likes Tom. Tom gets back in town after being gone. You find out he's been in a psychiatric ward for 7 years, something like that. He didn't make it again in California, wherever, and he's back. Everybody likes him. He actually comes out creepy. Like, he's very cold, his character, when he talks to people. He doesn't really listen. He does his own thing, but everybody loves his character. Have you noticed that? Oh, he's such a nice guy. Like, he didn't even talk to you. How's he a nice guy? Was it just me?
Maybe it's because it's played by Jensen Ackles, and everyone just thinks he's Dean Winchester from Supernatural. So
yeah, I don't know. Like, all the girls are like, oh, he's such a nice guy. I know, and he's all like, oh. And it doesn't even give him a time of day. But his character was kind of cold. But I didn't think that he was a killer. Not enough to think he was a killer. I mean, if you watch the first one, obviously, you know what's going to happen, but kills are awesome. And they have one thing every horror movie should have, and that is a
little person?
Little person.
Yeah, there's a little person in that movie.
No, not. There should be a little. Well, you could. I mean, that'd make the movie better. But what should every horror movie have?
TNA.
Yes, and good TNA. Yes, there's actually a good TNA shot in this.
Like full on frontal.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but Yeah, there's a scene where Tom stays at a hotel, or a little one of those motels. You drive up to the door and you go in, and there's a trucker who's with some girl they sleeps with, and they're having sex, and he's videotaping it. Well, she gets mad that he videotapes it. He throws money at her. She goes, "What am I, hooker? You're a hooker now," and throws her some money. She chases him naked out to the truck where he's at, which I really like the character.
The trucker or the naked
The,
girl?
well, the girl, the naked girl. I liked her because she, um, not that she was naked. I mean, she was a good-looking girl, but she was tough. She was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
And she was like, she was ready to throw it down. I don't know, something about her being a badass and chasing him outside had nothing to do with her being naked, but the fact that she went after him was really cool. And then go and approach him in the truck. Well, unfortunately, things kind of go awry.
Yeah, he gets a pickaxe to the face.
I don't know how you're gonna get a pickaxe swung in a semi truck through a door. That's the only thing I was like, okay, how do you get enough force there?
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a cool kill. The camera drops and you see her being chased by the miner.
Yeah.
Again, not a little kid, actual coal miner. Harry Warden.
Yep, Harry Warden.
But, and you see, like, the chase going on, and he brutally kills her and puts her in a heart-shaped tub. Was it a heart-shaped tub? And then guts her out. And the kills in this one, he guts everybody.
My
Guts everybody.
My favorite kill is actually the little person when he swings the pickaxe up and it hits her and it like lifts her up to the ceiling
And it sticks in the ceiling.
Yes.
That's your favorite kill?
Yeah, that was my favorite kill. Or where Tom Atkins, which is the retired sheriff in this movie, he actually gets the pickaxe to the face too, and it actually goes up through his jaw, and it's like hanging out of his jaw, and Harry like basically yanks his jaw off.
Pulls the whole jaw.
Yeah, and it like, because of course this movie was filmed in 3D, so the jaw like comes at you on the screen. So those are my two favorite kills.
Yeah, the 3D thing is pretty funny because it's like Jaws 3. When you watch on regular TV, they still got the floating pieces that come at you, so you know it's 3D, but it kind of makes it fun though, like Friday the 13th 3D.
Yep.
Those old 3Ds that kind of make it nostalgic, so it kind of brings you back to that Friday the 13th 3D and Jaws 3D thing. So, yeah, the kills were cool. I don't know. I really like how he took the caretaker. I don't know how much salary you get being a sheriff and working at a grocery store, but they can afford a nanny. And she gets killed and gets put in the dryer at a house instead of a laundromat this time, and she gets steamed alive, I guess. They must have had a good steam setting, but that was pretty cool. I like how they did the same thing as the other one, but in a house versus laundromat. All the kills were good. Of course, the sheriff's girlfriend gets it. The pregnant girlfriend gets it. There's a scene where the killers come into the grocery store. They're locking up, and he's trying to kill them in the grocery store. They lock themselves in a store, and they push something against the door, and he's pickaxing to the wood door, and they try to climb out the window. He sees that, and he runs around and gets her, gets the girlfriend. The killer gets the girlfriend, and he mutilates the body. And what does he write in blood?
Like, be mine forever.
Yeah, that's what the card that was in the card. So, I don't know. The kills were really good. Acting was pretty good. I like the modern part of it. They didn't make it too modern, but they didn't redo the same thing.
The love story wasn't like
100% in your face, 24/7, which wasn't bad. The ending was different. The ending was kind of cool. They actually go to the mine again. They get trapped in the mine. And this is your favorite part, so why don't you describe it as far as how the movie ends?
well, you find out that the killer this time is actually Tom. He kind of had a mental breakdown, and he thinks he's Harry Warden. And that scene, my favorite part is he's like got the pickaxe, and he's, in his mind he thinks he's Harry Warden, and he's like hitting the lights going down the mine shaft, and as he's doing it, it's like flashing between him and the miner, so it looks like 1 second it hits him, then the miner, and the miner. That's probably the coolest scene in that part. Well, there ends up being an explosion, and Sarah and Axel think that Tom is dead. Well, the rescue guys come to get him out of the mine, and Tom kills one of the rescue workers and puts his outfit on and then climbs out of the mine, and then you see him pull it off and he's still alive, and that's how it ends. This is one of those remake movies where I wish we would have got a sequel to.
They geared it up for a sequel.
Yeah, they geared it up
They
for,
left
a
him alive for a
sequel,
sequel.
and yeah, they definitely needed to make a sequel to this movie.
Yeah, it was really good. They when Tom, he's in the mine, and Axel's like tells his wife, "The best you kill us both."
Yeah,
Because like, I'm the killer, no, you're the killer. If she's got a gun and she doesn't understand who's who, she's torn, and he's like, "Kill us both." And then Axel was like, oh, "Did you really just say that?" And then they figure out that it's Axel.
That Tom.
Yeah, that's did the killing, and he starts having flashbacks, and you see in his mind kind of wig out. He gets the look of a killer, and you can see him. He dug up the original killer's grave. You see him. You see him kill the hotel at the girl at the hotel. You see him be the killer in all the scenes. So it kind of takes you through a quick minute of
Recap,
montage,
yeah.
which is really good. And so you know for sure he's the killer, and you're like, oh, it's not the guy cheating on his wife, which you wanted to die for that reason anyway, because his wife's so sweet in the movie. Yeah, really well done. When you mentioned that part, and I watched it, I was like, because I never really seen the whole movie, I was really impressed with it. Like, they didn't go overboard on the cutesy, good-looking people. They left it as it is, had a little bit enough of everything. Really well done. I'll tell you what, they need to have a sequel to that. So, I don't know. For me, I would give 4 blood drops out of 5.
I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 blood drops because I do prefer this one actually over the original.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I do like the original one, but this one, the kills I think are the best for out of the two My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, great kills, good story. The ending was really good. How they went back and forth. They didn't force you to think too much anyway. Yeah, very entertaining. And the kills. If you're a kill fanatic, like someone, yeah, this movie's right up your alley. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day, or happy My Bloody Valentine, and until next time,
Stay bloody.
have a happy bloody Valentine's Day.